Dr. Suffin, and I would like to focus a little bit more on adult basic education and GED prep. All of you in the room remember the on the bus advertisements from a couple of years ago, and the good Lord knows we need to do everything we possibly can do to keep students in school, in middle school particularly, and in high school. But the fact is that we do have more than 400,000 adult Mississippians, 25 and older, who dropped out of high school and don't have a high school diploma. And we have 14,000 kids a year now that are dropping out of high school. So those folks have to have a second chance. There has to be a vehicle for giving them an opportunity to get back into the mainstream. And I'd like to ask for a little bit more detail about what our community colleges are doing. And again, I doubt most folks know that the community colleges are the primary instruments of GED work in our state. But I'd like to ask for a little more detail on that, please.
I'd like to take that, Dr. Clark. I see one of my dear friends and one of my professors from college, and he's also president emeritus at Southern Miss, Dr. Aubrey Lucas, sitting over here to my left. And when Dr. Lucas was reading my dissertation, in the first sentence, which he made me write over about 10 times, he said, "Jesse, what are you trying to say?" Well, let me say this. It is the 800-pound gorilla in our state is the dropout issue that we have. It is the issue. When you drop out of school, you become a negative drain on the state. You can't, there are so many barriers that just exacerbate the problem as this student or this person gets older and older. They have a less of ability to compete for wages, and you know the statistics that happen. It is the problem in our state. Dr. Clark just mentioned that we have 400,000 people in the state of Mississippi that do not have a GED or a high school diploma. That is a huge statistic. Well, we're doing our part at the community colleges. We're trying as hard as we can. Matter of fact, last year in FY 210, we put about 21,000 people through some type of an adult education program. About 11,000 of them actually took the GED test, and about almost 6,000 of them actually passed the GED. Now, each of our colleges have feeder high schools. We're assigned a district, and we have district or high schools that we serve. And we always like to follow that high school that produces the most graduates. But I want to tell you something. The largest feeder high school or feeder program that we have in the community college system is the GED program. Mississippi Gulf Coast had 900 GED graduates last year, which is the largest feeder school in the state. So our paradigm has shifted. The cheese has moved, or whatever it is that you want to use as vernacular to make the point, is that is an enormous problem for our state. One of our initiatives that we took on for the community colleges was dropout recovery. We realized that is we want to go right at the heart of one of the problems we have in our state. And so we're doing everything that we can to do so. The other thing is that if you can just get one of these folks on the campus or get to somebody, we have a program for them. Now, not all folks are going to have the ability to pass the GED, but we can improve their reading skills. We can help them learn how to do some business math. We can help them do some computations for maybe learning some type of a trade, but that's where we are.
Thank you, Jesse. We have many shortages in our state, but one of the shortages we have in Mississippi is we don't have enough nurses. There's a serious shortage of nurses in our state, and I'd like to ask what are the community colleges doing to provide nurses in our state?
Dr. Clark, if I may, I'll attempt to address that question. East Mississippi Community College is probably one of the last of the community colleges to bring online an associate degree nursing program. We did this in light of the shortages that we have in nursing. There are over 30, I think the U.S. Department of Labor projects that the shortage of nursing, this is the most critical shortage of a job is in nursing, or jobs in nursing or healthcare, and 30 states significant needs through 2012, and now that's been expanded through 2020. I think Mississippi has a shortage right now of approximately between 7 and 8% each year, vacancy rate in nursing. Now, what have we done? Obviously, we've stepped up East Mississippi, and we now have an ADN program, and we're in our third year. We'll have our first graduating class this coming fall. What we've tried to do is stagger what we do in a way that traditionally graduates come out in May or in the summer, and we've set our schedule so that our people will graduate in December. Now, why is that? Well, to address the shortage of nurses in Mississippi, you know, the simple answer is to admit more students. That occurred. Programs throughout the state, and we have 15 associate degree nursing programs in our community college system, and we have 2 that are in the university system. But as we increase the number of students being enrolled and admitted into nursing programs, there then became a shortage of clinical sites, and that is an issue. And the apparent answer to that is technology and the use of simulators. But that brings on another issue in that simulators are expensive, and generally you have to have people with a technical expertise in the area of the simulation that you're doing. So we've added what we call sim men, or a mannequin that's genderless, and both adult and infant. But the thing that has also come to be a great part of this equation is that our legislature has recognized this shortage, and they've stepped up. MEC is very supportive of efforts to increase the number of healthcare workers, and there is now a database, statewide database that our nursing faculty can access, which maintains a listing of potential clinical sites, so that if you, in your particular area, if a clinical site is not available at a particular time, then you have access to information where there will be an availability of a clinical site. So we're adding faculty, we're adding students. There is a shortage of clinical sites. We try to do, using technology, use those sites that may not be what folks might not be aware of otherwise through our technology, but the simulation appears to be the coming salvation in terms of clinical sites. But the projections for shortages in allied health and nursing, that continues. That projects on out at least 2020, but if we factor in the aging population, it will probably be even greater. So we're doing what we can, but this is requiring partnerships with your local hospitals, health providers, because healthcare training, nursing faculty, very expensive. Simulator, a patient simulator, over $100,000. So it does get into some dollars, but after all, it is healthcare, and that is something that we're all very, very critically interested in. And Mississippi, the community colleges in Mississippi have some of the best healthcare programs in the nation, and these programs are, of course, articulating with the BSN programs at our universities, and it's all about creating an entry level at some point. Maybe nurse aide, nurse assistant, go through the PN, and then the ADN, and then hopefully BSN and MSN, and ultimately family nurse practitioner. So that's a very big part of our world in the community colleges, and we're doing everything we can to try to do what we can to address this need. But it is a very expensive proposition, and partnerships with our healthcare community and others and our legislature in terms of their support is very important to us.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Rick just used the term articulating. We have, in the past, we've had some students that had problems transferring all their credits from community college to university. We have something it's evolving. It's more than 20 years old. It's called an articulation agreement between the community colleges and our state universities, our IHL system. I'd like for somebody to talk about that a little bit, about what we've done to perfect that transfer process and make it as easy and seamless as possible.
Well, since I used the word articulating, I'll attempt to field that question as well. It's all about efficiency. There is redundancy to an extent in terms of education, but the main thing that we're trying to do in the community college arena is to give our students the education that, or the courses that they need to be successful on the next level. So therein lies articulation. Now, we are fortunate in that our deans on the community college level and their counterparts with institutions of higher learning are working very, very closely. There's a committee that has been established of IHL instructional deans and vice presidents that look at what they have, look at what we bring in, what our students bring in when they complete an associate degree program at one of our community colleges, to ensure that what these young people are taking or the coursework that they complete is transferable. And that communication is essential, and has been, I would say in the last 2 or 3 years, has been more as we try to help our students not have to replicate courses that they've taken before because of the expense, that we work very closely with them and making sure that what they do will prepare them for the next level. But it's a partnership with the universities, the institutions of higher learning, and with the community colleges, where our deans of instructions communicate. One thing that we're finding also, and I think it was mentioned a little bit earlier, some of our programs, forestry, for example, that will articulate in or with a program at a university that will have forestry. Programs such as hotel restaurant management, articulating with culinary arts. And I know Hines has a program in veterinary science technology. And all these programs work together to prepare students to go on to the next level. And this is also very true, I mentioned earlier, in nursing, that our ADN, associate degree nurses, are prepared with the foundation that they launch into the BSN program in our university system. So we're talking more, it's all about communication, and it's about efficiency, and it's about saving students time and money. And we are working, we have a liaison with the institutions of higher learning that attends each of our president's meetings each month, and working very, very closely. And I'm very glad to say that the presidents of the universities are very open to working with the community colleges, because our students that transfer from the community college system to the universities typically have equal to or greater GPA than the native students. And that changes from time to time, but that's by and large a true statement. If it's not, I take responsibility for it. But our students are well prepared in most cases, and again, it's all part of the equation of keeping that pipeline of education moving and producing the next generation of leaders and workers for not only our state but our great nation.